Hi guys, this is Tablet-News.com and I'm here with the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, the world's first Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich device, and one of the first phones with a 720p display, a beautiful HD display that I'm going to review in the following minutes. As you can see, this device's interface is simply great and the screen looks fantastic since it's a 720p display after all, and the form factor isn't all bad as well. I call this device a combo between the Nexus S and the Samsung Galaxy S2 as far as design goes. The back, for example, was taken from the Galaxy S2, I think, and the shape curved from the Nexus S. Okay, now let's move on to this handset. As you already saw, I unlocked it with my face earlier on, so it's got face unlock. Well, this device can be found, for example, on Vodafone for about 169 euros. In Eastern Europe. You can also find it on Verizon for about $200 or more. There should also be some special Christmas offers. And as far as this specification goes and design features, well, for one thing, it's 8.9mm thick, so that's pretty thin. Sometimes it even feels that it's slipping out of hand. It weighs 135 grams, and this beautiful display with this beautiful background is a 4.65-inch screen that uses Super AMOLED technology. Also, it's got that incredible resolution I mentioned, 1280 over 720, so it's a 720p display, one of the most beautiful there is. Also, it doesn't have a micro SD card slot, which some people regret, but at least you can get 16 or 32 gigabytes of internal memory. You also get 1 gigabyte of RAM, and there's also Wi-Fi connectivity, LTE on Verizon, and 3G and Bluetooth 3.0, of course. The brain of this beautiful device is a Texas Instruments OMAP 4460 dual-core CPU, 1.2 GHz, and a very powerful GPU, PowerVR SGX 540. But you're probably not interested in that. You'll see the power of the GPU when I'll get to the gaming section, which is very cool in its own way. At the back, we have the 5 megapixel camera with 1080p capture. At the front, we have a 1.3 megapixel camera, the one that recognized my face, and unlock the device. This device also comes with an accelerometer, gyroscope, compass, barometer, a GPS, and a lithium-ion battery, a 1750 mAh that should provide about 8 hours of talk time and 1 day of full use. As I said, this is an ice cream sandwich phone, the first there is, with all the good changes it brings. As you can see, all the icons look fresh, everything looks new, there are new widgets, resizable widgets. You can create folders in a way that reminds me of the iPhone, so you can simply drag and drop stuff onto a folder. For example, if I want to take this application, this one with the elves, and drag it around the screens, trying to find another folder. Let's see. Okay, so if I drag it on top of these two apps, now it's integrated into the folder. So this is pretty cool. That's what you have to do, drag and drop one of the apps on top of another and you'll create a folder. Other things worth mentioning about this new operating system, that's ice cream sandwich. It comes with NFC transfer. It's called the Android Beam, allows you to transfer stuff via NFC for sharing purposes. And other things I must mention is that you can sync the web browser on the device with your Chrome bookmarks. And I'm going to try to load GSM now, see if it works. Hopefully it will work. So let's see how the browser does, and this is a virtual keyboard on the device. Let's try GSM Dome. This is the status bar. Still waiting for it to load. The usual problems with the good old router. Let's try the settings and play with the Wi-Fi around for a bit. This is the settings area, lots of options. They also include that security option that allow me to unlock the device with my face. Here we are, face unlock. I have to confirm my PIN, nothing fancy here. So as you can see, you can set up the face unlock, use this pattern, and you're done. Okay, now I hope that our Wi-Fi is working and the connection server timed out. Let's try it one more time. Well, this time GSM Dome does load and it looks beautiful on the screen. There's this area for adding one more tab. So if you want to go to CNN, for example, you can alternate between them like this, which is very cool. And here's our website. We're doing a little bit of pinch to zoom. I was just notified that there are 3 new tweets, so this is pretty cool, the notification section. Let's also try it in landscape. The text is very easy to read. The device may have a 4.65 inch display, but you don't feel that. You don't feel that huge display. It's very well integrated into the design. And now let's move on to the media features. For example, let's try to listen to some classical music without trying to sound too pretentious. We have Swan Lake by Tchaikovsky. And the volume is a bit disappointing. It's all because of the speaker right here. Here it is. I have heard several other people complaining about the volume of this device. Maybe with an update, the volume will be stronger. And here is the music playing interface, in case you were wondering. It looks pretty nice. It's got the blue hue and everything, the Android ice cream sandwich theme. A thing I must mention is that we also have LED notifications on this device with different colors, a function that many people wanted. And if you don't believe me that the volume is pretty bad on this device, we can always check out YouTube in the version for ice cream sandwich. Here we are, trying some Lady Gaga. And let's hope that the web doesn't fail on us again with the pesky router. Here we are.
When I look back on my life, it's not that I don't want to see things exactly as they happened.
So this is the maximum volume.
I prefer to remember them in an artistic way. And truthfully, the lie of it all is much more honest because I invented it.
It's nice that these main buttons of the interface disappear when you try to view a full video.
Memories are not recycled like atoms and parts.
This is one other thing that Ice Cream Sandwich brought us. Aside from this so-called dock area at the bottom, we have these 3 buttons, the back, home, and this recent apps button. That's actually a very nice way of doing multitasking. As you can see, I have a ton of apps open and I simply will swipe them to get rid of them. So that's very cool. Quite a lot to swipe, to be honest. But the multitasking works perfectly even if you have open 2 shooters, for example, 2 first-person shooters on this device. There's this cool area that concentrates all the Google apps in one place, a folder with all the Google apps. So let's see them one by one. First we have Maps in its latest version. That looks great. Here we are, trying to get a more 3D view. You get the idea anyway. The interface is as beautiful as ever. Next up we have Gmail with its beautiful way of swiping around emails. You enter an email, you swipe to the right, get to another email, and so on. So this is pretty cool. Other Google applications, of course there's a calendar synced with my Google account with an event schedule right here. Nothing fancy. Let's see what else. Of course there's Google Plus. There's a social networking service that has Android built around it. It's acquiring my location. These are people from my circles, what they recently posted. There's incoming stuff. I can post my own stuff. He's searching for nearby people, as I said. Here's the incoming section. There's also a messenger that's also available as a separate app. There's the photo section to see what other people have posted and what I've posted. There's my profile section so I can view everything about me. Here's an about section with the sites I manage and work for, some photos and some stuff I posted. And finally there's the circles section that you already know, with people divided into circles, my contacts. Other stuff, there is of course the Android market with this style interface that's already classic. And let's see what else. As you can see, the Google Plus Messenger has a separate app. There's Google Talk too. And now let's handle the phone section of this device, since it's a phone after all. This is the area where you call people. This is the calling interface. This is the contact section with everything looking nice. You have 2 favorite contacts on top. You have their numbers written right here. There is also this special contact section that I integrated my Google Plus account. So for example, I like the way the thumbnails are shown with the people. Once I enter the section, I can see their faces straight from Google Plus and I can call them. Here's the huge list of contacts. If I select one of them, let's see what happens. I can view their Google Plus profile, for example. I also have a widget for Google Plus, and as I said, there are resizable widgets, so if I keep it pressed, it will give me the option to resize it, as you can see, make it bigger or smaller. So for example, if I get rid of this Facebook widget, I can expand the Google Plus widget to a bigger size. So that's the resizable function stuff. And if you don't want to interact on Google Plus, there's always the Facebook app that was recently updated for Android, and it looks more beautiful than ever. It also moves faster. The previous Android Facebook apps were dreadful, but finally we get something decent, and everything seems to move just fine. This is the main control area of the application with newsfeed, messages, nearby, events. It's a nice way of accessing all the main features of Facebook. There's also this area where you can see what happened recently in Facebook, so you can get your social networking fix. Of course, there's Tweetcaster if you want Twitter, an app I've just discovered. I was getting bored with all these TweetDeck apps and all the other stuff. This is very easy to use. It has a push notification feature, so all in all it's nice. Well, since we saw the music playback, let's try some video playback on this handset. Well, let's try to find the video section. Hopefully I will. If not, I can always use the gallery to access it. I have a movie right here, an episode of Homeland. Very successful episode and show. Playback looks very nice on this big screen.
Lincoln means 87 years ago. He's talking about the American Revolution as 1770.
Okay, so you also saw video playback. That's very nice on this 720p screen. Wait till you see the gaming. That's really incredible. And here's my Tweetcaster widget, in case you're wondering. And another thing I must mention, as you can see, there is the app section, and if I keep swiping, I'm going to reach the widget section that's taken from Honeycomb. So actually ice cream sandwich combines gingerbread and honeycomb into one. One thing I like is that you can go straight to Android Market from the widget and app section. So the amount of time you spend searching for stuff is shortened. And now, since I'm ready with the multimedia section, meaning that I got rid of the video playback and audio playback, it's time for the good old camera. Let's check out the gallery, see some pictures I've taken recently. I've taken quite a ton of them, and the colors are, as usual, very bright. I was impressed by the camera. I have to mention that if you use automatic settings and the light is not so good, some pictures will be moved, will be grainy, and especially with fog around this time of year, it will be bad. But as you can see, the quality is stunning. It may be the display, it may be the camera, but the quality is stunning. This is a picture I have taken recently, and the amount of zoom is incredible. Now I'm going to show you the camera interface and use this little bit of perfume to demo it. Okay, taking a picture. It also moves pretty fast. The iPhone has a serious rival here, and there are some options available. You can send it via Bluetooth, share it on Facebook, send it via Gmail, via Tweetcaster, Google+, or just look at it. As you can see, it's pretty moved, although I didn't do anything wrong. It's about that poor light settings that I mentioned and that automatic settings. Now let's see the settings of the camera. There are quite a few, but too few for some people. The white balance with its options, the exposure, the scene mode, and some other features, store location, picture size. There are also more options like the capture. You can do 1080p capture with this device, and it actually looks pretty fine. There are some nice options like silly faces. You can also add some backgrounds. That's a pretty funky option. There's time-lapse, and as I said, the 1080p function. You can also do a panorama. That's a beautiful function. And getting back to that silly faces area and options, well, you can try to attach a background that's in space. So as you can see, there is this little video of something going on in space, and you can put here your face, film it. Other silly backgrounds include a sunset. So these are the cheesy stuff that people are doing when on vacation. They attach a sunset or space to their video, and everything should be cool, provided that it loads faster. The sunset doesn't seem to be working. Anyway, you get the idea. Silly stuff attached to the camera. Well, let's see what else we missed. As I said, the socializing is taken care of by Google+. I installed Facebook and Tweetcast. Folders, you can drag and drop apps on top of each other. I've just heard that till the end of the year we'll receive Flash on this device. It doesn't have Flash. It doesn't have FM radio, in case you're wondering. And the speaker is pretty weak, I have to say that. So these are some of the flaws of this device. Otherwise, there aren't so many flaws. And as I said, the multitasking is fascinating for me. It works perfectly. So I guess now it's time to show you some apps. Let's see what we have available here. And let's see what we missed. For example, we have the calculator that the phone comes with. Make sure we don't miss that. There's the usual clock. You can set your alarm. There's Google+, I've already shown. There's latitude. There's a messaging section, of course. With no conversation just yet. There's a movie studio, the one from Honeycomb, I bet. There's a news and weather section. This one you already seen on many other devices. There's a phone section, places, the settings area you already saw, YouTube, some of the widgets, and now it's time for the good old apps. There's one for girls first. It's called Glam Life, and you can read all the gossip on the web if you want. There's top news, all news, by date, by moods. Only women could have an app that lists news by moods. How can one search news by moods? That's strange. It probably means trends and not moods. Here are some of the celebrities. You have the topics here, celebrity here. And let's enter one of these articles and see what it looks like. You can like it, share it on Facebook. So as I said, an app for the ladies with lots of gossip, news and celebrities. There's a nice little search area with some search tags and terms. The app is called Glam after all, so that's Glam Life. There's also a navigation app, Route 66. It does a fine job and it looks pretty nice. It has just located me. I can get directions to wherever I want. You can show me 3D buildings, speed cameras, points of interest. As you can see, a lot of options, that's very important. You can show me the history of the places, sightseeing, gas stations, Wikipedia entries. And if I zoom out, you'll see what I'm talking about. There were quite a few Wikipedia entries. Let's try to zoom in, trying some 3D view. The app looks great, I have to admit that. So Route 66 did a fine job. You can download the extra maps if you want for more countries, and it was free of charge. Well, at least this version was. There's a more section with settings. Let's see what's in settings. General map, navigation and alarm. And let's try to view this with 3D with satellite map. Maybe it looks more beautiful. Here we are with that satellite map I mentioned. Seems to change views pretty fast, but the satellite map doesn't quite apply when you zoom in, so that's strange, or maybe I have to wait for it to load. Well, anyway, you get the hang of it. This is Route 66, a great navigational app. And now it's time for some gaming. A game I like very much. Contract Killer Zombies from Glue Mobile, and it looks and plays great. You can even shop for stuff. You also get a daily bonus.
I can't remember what you told me your name was.
There is a storyline in it.
Because I didn't.
Well, what am I supposed to call you then?
Call me Shoot.
There are some cliches available. I have to protect this lady as she gathers supplies. As you can see, the scenery is beautiful, the music is great, and the game plays fantastic. The phone just vibrated, so I guess I received a tweet or a mention. And here's the multitasking that I just opened. I can change weapons if I want to. So here's the good old pistol. My girl is attacked by the zombies. There is a settings area, of course. Okay, let's exit this game and try another one. Yet another shooter. Well, this one is called, let's see.
It was supposed to be my last mission. Should have been quick and easy. But we were...
Frontline Commando. This reminds me a bit of Gears of War, especially when you get shot at and blood jumps on top of the screen. It's very much like the previous game, but the setting is changed and the characters are changed. I can go to the store, buy some cool weapons, like a sniper. As I said, the graphics are pretty impressive, thanks to the 720p display. Here we are. It's a sniper duel. The blood appeared on the screen. Trying to get a clear shot of the guy. I sniped him. And this is the background of the game. That's fantastic. So the graphics are great. Okay, enough about that. I want to show you an amazing thing. That's the multitasking once again. Here's how the phone is moving with 2 games open and lots of stuff open. The zombies game and the shooter from earlier, they're both open at the same time and everything works perfectly. So this is a fantastic phone. Well folks, for me this is the phone of the year. It battles the iPhone 4S for this title, and it's a great device with a great display, with great memory, a pretty decent battery, but there are some flaws, like the speaker that isn't so good, lack of FM radio, lack of micro SD card, initial lack of flash, some camera defects. It also doesn't have DLNA, but you have Wi-Fi direct. The automatic mode for the pictures isn't that good, but the interface compensates. The performance of the device is great, multitasking is great, 720p is great, and even Google Plus integration satisfied me. So this is a great phone and I recommend you purchase it since it's incredible. Bye bye, this is gsndon.com and I hope you like our review.